everyone, thanks to share from the Cinema Network once more. Bring you an interesting game of Starcraft 2, and it's going to be on the Fusilien Funde map or something like that. So yes, I don't think I've actually seen the map before, and yeah, apparently it's a good game, apparently, according to the commenter, so what the hell. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a team game. We've got the top right team versus the bottom left team. So the bottom left team is going to consist of Black Trip as the Terrans, Dierka as Zerg, and John the Noob, cute name, as the Zerg as well. We've also got Ashalar as the Protoss. So at the top right we've got Gu as the Zerg, we've got Runorion as the Terrans, Mode Killer as the Protoss, and Rizel as the Zerg. So going to be seeing all races pretty nice represented. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a mirror matchup actually, since we have two Zerg players on turn 1, Protoss on each team from what I can see. So yes, don't think I've actually commentated on 4 vs 4 in a bit of a while, so what the hell, we'll just see what happens. We're going to be seeing quite a bit of combat happening around the map. So yes, while these guys are very slowly getting set up, we'll just have a look around the map actually, since I've never seen it before. So yeah, it looks like it consists mostly of one main area for both team. We've got one ramp here, we've got an expansion point here underneath the cliff portion. We've also got a second ramp as well, so just leading straight to the flanking bases. We've also got a couple of expansion points off to the right here, right next to each other even, I need to think. And yeah, we've got a gold expansion here, and looks like I've got one, actually we have a couple right in these corner points as well. And let's see, we've got one ramp. Okay, so we've just got 2 ramps leading to them from either side of the map. Also got destructible rocks, sort of cleaving the map in two, so to speak. A couple of Zelnaga towers at either end, as well as a bit of tall grass. And okay, we've got a little crevasse thingy, which yeah, little crevasse thing. It's a block movement for the hell. But so there we go. We're going to have the first incursion. Looks like Gui is going to be sending in his troops from the top right to the bottom left, just to scout out his Protoss opponent perhaps. And yeah, he's actually going to harass a couple of probes. I don't know if he's actually going to get too many kills, but yeah, he's certainly going for those probes there, and there Ashalar surrounding the Zerglings pretty quickly. We'll just have a look at units lost. So it's actually equal, although Ashalar would have lost workers rather than Zerglings. So probably, I'd say it was probably worth it though, what he actually did. Actually, what else do we have that we can have a look at? Huh. Okay, apparently won't let me look at those bigger things though. Oh well, so much of that. So yeah, so don't seem to have any other counterattacks by the... Oh, speaking of which, I don't have any counterattacks by the bottom of the team, but we do have a couple more Zerglings coming in for Rizel, and yeah, looks like he's just going to be taking down a couple more probes. Do have interestingly placed a photon cannon right here. Let's see, I'm managing to kill the Zerglings pretty quickly. Just have a look at the units lost now. So yeah, starting to favour bottom of team a little bit, but yeah, these are just the opening rounds. So Gu's going to be sending some more Zerglings this time to the left point, although when he comes up against all these bunkers and buildings, I don't think he's going to stay around. So retreating, the Zerglings only losing 1, and here we go. Also got the good old Space Brains of Runorion trying to attack. They're just pushing up the ramp a bit. There's a gap here. Actually, is that a gap? Hard to tell. I think it might be big enough for a unit to pass through. It's kind of hard to tell though, given the way it looks and all that. Oh well. And of course, Goose saying stop pushing, which probably a bit of sound advice given that yeah, bottom left team has walled off. The top right team, interesting enough, the team is, or rather, should I say, their wall in here is not actually done at all. It's completely open there. Well, Terran wall in here is pretty much complete with no bunkers though, so a bit of an interesting walling indeed. I should just might check something. I've got some interesting sounds. I'm just wondering if that's the ambient sound of the map itself. So if it just give me 1 second. Okay, it turns out that is actually the ambient sound of the map. It sounds like a swamp or something. So I don't know if actually if that's going to end up on the video, but interesting that's actually like that. I suppose there are a couple of rocks here and there, but nothing really that would indicate, you know, that they're fighting in a swamp or anything like that. But anyway, what the hell? So yes, we've had the initial exchanges by the top right team, bottom right team, just to, you know, poke up, we'll see what they're doing and all that. Just see what all of our guys are planning here. So first we'll start with the top right team. Got a Roach Warren out for Rizel. Looks like no, actually, what do you know? Mode Killer is going to be taking the expansion, and and it looks like Diak is going to be taking the expansion here, but wait a minute, we do have Rizzle taking an expansion, and we've got Goo taking an expansion as well. So the top right team is going to be leading by expansions, bottom left team sorry, is going to want to expand more so themselves, or maybe they want to make some sort of attack happen. What the hell, we'll just have to see what happens, and I'd say this wall in is pretty tight. Don't think anything can slip through this without destroying the buildings, so there you go. Actually, it looks like Renorion is going to be expanding, or maybe not. I think he might just be scouting. I don't think he's going to be working on destructible rocks with a couple of SCVs, or one SCV should I say. So yeah, it's not too much happening at the moment, just seeing teams expanding at the moment. Just to see what Mudkillers is working on now. Double Forges, looks like it's just going for upgrades. Renorion just has barracks out, no factories from what I can see, and Gui is at Lair Tech. Don't really see him bring up any advanced units or buildings so far. Let's just see what happens. Anyway, Black Trip is going to be going for let's see, the Starport building a reactor, given the amount of barracks and all that he has. I guess he's just going to be going for a bit of a balanced biomech push, I'm guessing, although I don't really see him with too many vehicles out. He does have the factory. Okay, it looks like it might just be an actual bio push in that case. Because yeah, he's supposed to just go barracks out. He's not producing anything from the factory. Starport, he's got 2 starports with 2 reactors, so let's say, wow, that's interesting getting a tech lab for a starport that's not even using it. But anyway, yeah, it looks like it's just going to go for bio, supported by some Vikings and some medevacs and all that, although okay, so he's actually switching them. So yeah, there's going to be mostly bio. So yeah, that's for Diako. He's actually got a hive already, and he's working on Ultralisks. He's got the infestation pits and all that out already, so certainly taking up pretty heavily. John the Noob's still got a lair out. He does have a Hydra stand, upgrading the Grooved Spines upgrade. Got the Root Warren out as well. Not many troops so far for guys here, although we do have a Warp Prism actually for Ashlar, and he does have a Dark Shrine out as well as the other usual Protoss buildings. So who knows, might actually see him warping in some Dark Templar. And here we go, speaking of which, here comes his fancy Warp Prism right now. What is it going to warp out? It's going to warp in Dark Templars. I don't know if actually they're going to be seen by Goose Extractor, but in either case, they are coming in, and there we go, they're going to slice and dice. Interesting enough, they're actually going for Goo's Queen rather than his drones. I don't really think that's... Well, I suppose he did manage to kill the Queen, but in my opinion he could have done a hell of a lot more damage if he actually went for the drones. Speaking of which, we've got Goo morphing out a couple of Mutalisks as well, so they're going to be seen by these Dark Templar. And here we go, here's the scan as well by the Templar. And yeah, these Mutalisks should be able to clean up these Dark Templar pretty quickly. Yep, managing to clear them out just before the scan expires. So there you go, managing to do a bit of damage there. We've just got a units lost tab, and yeah, Protoss player down here has lost a bit more than the Zerg player has, so not bad. Okay, saying to you guys. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good amounts of team play so far. I think Ashlar still trying to harass a bit with his Dark Templar. I don't know how that one was actually oh, okay, because they actually had a Overseer there. And yeah, no, they're just going to take out the Warp Prism. But unfortunately, the Protoss player didn't quite react in time, and yeah, the Warp Prism got destroyed, so oh well, what can you do? So yes, finally got more expansions coming. I've got John the Noob even expanding, even coming up with a Spore Crawler, and he's actually got a Nidus Worm. Although, given its position, where's the Nidus network in that case? It's a good question. Very good question. So he's got the Nidus Worm, but you need a Nidus network in order to make one. I don't actually see where the hell it is. Okay, there we go. We do have one Nidus Worm here. So that's Dioko's Nidus Worm. Oh, okay, I wonder. Alright, so there we go. So yeah, I guess they're just using that to escape the wall and without, you know, opening it up or anything like that. And I suppose Black Trip is just going to have those medevacs to airlift units out, although yeah, I suppose we could just load the supply there first. Actually, it seems to be supply blocked as well. There we go, only just now trading there's more orders, seems to be a bit of a delay there. And yeah, not really seeing too much so far for either teams really. I mean, they're just building up their forces. Got 2 Ghost Academies actually coming out for Renorion. Looks like he's going to be sneaking in maybe a couple of ghosts with nukes. The only reason you see a team player building more than 1 Ghost Academy is usually because they're going for nukes. Got Ultralisks coming out for Dierka as well as the Carapace. Also got Tunning Claws and Borrow coming out for resource. Maybe he's going to look for try to sneak in some roaches or something like that. And speaking of which, this expansion by Ashla might actually be vulnerable. Same with this expansion here actually, but Goo doesn't seem too interested in. He's just going to go straight for the jugular. He's going to try to kill off a few workers of a shallow. And he's actually going to go straight for the photon cannon. Might be able to do quite a bit of damage, but here we go. We actually do have the Hydrisks coming in for John the Noob. What upgrades does he have on him? Just one needle spines. And here we go. Now finally, a shallow's expansion points are going to be taken. Not seeing any counterattack by the bottom left team either. And yeah, we just got upgrades. Your stuff incoming. Got a Hive tech for Whizzle. So yeah, nothing too much out of the ordinary, although Goo does have quite a few Mutalisks, and as you can see they're going to do one hell of a job denying the expansions for this Protoss play. I think Ashla, wow, he's actually going to try to create another Nexus in full sight of these Mutalisks. Thankfully he manages to cancel it in time. As for this one, I think he's going to want to cancel that as well, given that we don't see any anti-air units out. In fact, he's only got a couple of Zealots out in the field. So yes, Ashla is going to be finishing this, and wow, a bit of a blunder there by him, but what can you do? So we do have the Destructor Rocks being destroyed by, what is it, Rizzle's forces, so it looks like it's probably going to be expanding there as well. So yes, not too much happening at the moment except for that Useless Craftsman, and now they're going to pick up these Zealots, kill them off as well, bam, just like that. Speaking of which, we do actually have another push by Rizzle. This time he's going to be going for Diako's expansion, and yeah, well, so far I'm not really seeing any sort of real response or anything like that. We do have the hatchery getting cancelled, drone getting killed, of course. But so far, there we go. Finally, Black Troop is going to be moving out. He's got the concussive shells, stim pack. No other upgrades on his infantry though. Does he actually have combat shields? Looks like he does. Yeah, he does have the combat shield upgrade. And speaking of which, I actually do have a massive drop as well. Going to be dropping into this point here. Thankfully, Renorion hasn't actually put his base right here, so I guess it's a bit less vulnerable. In fact, I think Renorion is going to want to airlift it right now, and he manages to do it just in the nick of time. Actually has a bit of a wall in there. It's actually going to screw him in this case, screw him over in this case, because yeah, it's just basically be vulnerable to drop from behind. And yeah, there's, you can see one engineer is going to go down. This one should be able to research upgrade. Yep, I think it did. Yes, it did. Because yeah, for level 2 upgrades. So there you go. Actually, to research a couple of upgrades, I suppose. But yeah, so far we're just seeing both teams really attacking and counter-attacking each other. Not really seeing too much army versus army engagement. Have Goo even taking out John the Noob's with a noobish hatchery, and we've got Dioko maybe preparing to expand there. There we go. Oh, look, got Black Troop coming in to take out this planetary fortress, which is going down incredibly quickly actually. Oh, damn, and the frame rate is also going down rather quickly as well, probably due to the sheer amount of units that are going to be on the map fighting each other and all that. But here we go, got a massive stream of units coming in for an Orion, and also Mode Killer should be able to take out this drop pretty quickly of Black Troops. There we go. Finally seeing some army versus army action, and yeah, I think Black Troop's going to want to retreat there. I mean, we've even got guardian shields and all that being used and to help absorb damage, taking out a Night Swim as well, which I suppose belonged to the one of the bottom left Zerg players. Didn't quite notice that. Goo also saying TY again, so I mentioned to save Goo's base. Same time though, losing a couple of their own expansions. So, what the hell? Ashlar looks like he's actually going to be breaking down these rocks as well. Don't really know if he actually wants to do that, really, given that it'll open up more avenues of attack to take his own expansions. But what the hell, I suppose he feels comfortable enough in doing that, and yeah, that's just what he's going to do. Doesn't have any upgrades at all for his ground forces, and yeah, we just got massive swells of units again being created. And yeah, it looks like someone is going to be expanding here. I'm assuming it's Renorion, given that he did put his troops here. I'm surprised he actually hasn't killed these destructible rocks though, and we actually do have a couple of troops still left for Black Troops, so just leaving them there for presumably for scouting purposes. So yes, not such a shabby game indeed, kind of. We're just hoping for a little bit more action, but what the hell, we've had a few attacks and counter-attacks, and what the hell indeed. Ashlar's base is again going to go down. I'm surprised he actually didn't build any photon cannons or anything like that. He is finally sending his forces across, but only has a few Archons, but I suppose that'll be more than enough to cause massive amounts of splash damage to Goo's Mutalisks, and actually got a massive force of unupgraded Zealots as well. They don't even have charge research, so yeah, a bit of a newish game to say the least. And yeah, Goo's also going to come back. Is he going to take out this Nexus? Nope, Blackship coming in with a couple more forces, but of course that just allows Goo to move elsewhere. Going to be spotting the action, of course. I actually just want to take it down just for hell of it, but instead he's just going to go for pylons. Don't really know if I agree with that. There we go, he's going to get some more important pylons, deactivating a couple of buildings there. Don't really know why he's going for those miscellaneous pylons. I mean, his muzzle goes for the ones that are powering buildings at the very least. And he's also going to watch out for these Space Marines, which is doing. John the Noob's sending his... wow, he's actually got massive amounts of Mutalisks out with 2 damage upgrade. Not too shabby. Not seeing any other attacks happening on the map from what I can see. And yeah, the damn frame rate is just going to be a pain in the ass. I'll just try scrolling elsewhere. Yeah, it's just down. So yeah, it's just because there's so many units on the map. So it kind of sucks a bit, but... oh well, that's 4 versus 4 games for you. I guess... actually, I wonder if Starcraft 2 supports 6 versus 6. I don't think so. I think the largest games I've seen so far will be 4 versus 4. So doesn't mean, of course, that large games don't exist, but I suppose they don't exist for a reason, really, given that the frame rate can go down pretty easily. And I get crap loads of troops come across. Speaking of which, we've got Runarian coming in with siege tanks, almost sending them straight into the middle of Ashlar's forces, which should be a bit disastrous, to say the least. Although, there we go, he's sending a couple here and there. Don't really know what the hell he's thinking, sending them against marauders like that. We do have Goog, at the very least, coming in with a couple of Mutalisks. Actually, they might be able to do a good job harassing, actually, provided that Runarian has his siege tanks deployed at just the right moment. Actually, it looks like he's just going to be going up here. Actually, if he can siege up around here, that would actually be pretty advantageous. He's going to want to be quick about it. I think he actually sieged up a bit too late, although I suppose given how grouped up the ground troops were there, he would be able to take them out pretty quickly. And what do you know? Sieging up a bit late, but managing to do quite a bit of damage nonetheless. Managing to get that command center cancelled, and yeah, looks like got Rizzle working on these destructible rocks. Looks like he's going to be making a bit of a push on the left. Black Troop being forced to move all of his guys back as well, so who to think. Speaking of which, these destructible rocks still haven't been destroyed. I don't know what the hell the point of that was. I mean, look at that, we got all these Marines who are just watching out for drops. Supposedly, I mean, they might as well just be working on those destructible rocks if they're going to be standing there. But yeah, it looks like for whatever reason, Renorian is content to let them distance mine a bit. And wow, actually got a bit of a bigger push than I thought. So good to have John the Noob sending in crap loads. And I mean crap loads of Hydralisks. Also got crap loads of Ultras coming out. They got some Kaiser Blades. They got Zerg Ground Carapace. They got crap loads of armor. They'll be able to clean up this push by the top right team pretty damn easily, if I do say so. And at the same time, we do have Goo harassing the Protoss base once again. So it's actually not bad. Actually, we're seeing multiple pronged attacks from mostly the top right team. And actually, what do you know? Do we have a few more attacks? What the hell? Ah. Okay, so apparently Rizzle actually managed to make his way down here somehow, cleaning up the hatchery and getting his horses destroyed in the process as well. So, wow, quite the back and forth action indeed. I think he's going to want to be a bit careful with his troops, with his Mutalisks specifically, because they could still be sniped pretty easily by enemy air forces. But yeah, it looks like they should be just about in the clear to take out Ashlar's Nexus, maybe, or he's just going to go straight to the workers. Well, straight to the workers then to take out the base. So there you go, taken out just like that. And well, it's actually Goo's building up quite a sizable amount of Mutalisks. So if he can actually get some additional upgrades on them, he might be able to cause quite a bit of damage. Speaking of which, looks like Ashlar has finally got the charge upgrade. Yep, he's got the charge upgrade. And yeah, he's actually going to town on the Zerg base there, although he's going to be in trouble with these Mutalisks attacking. Although they'll be able to kill a few Stalkers at the very least, and Modekiller is going to want to be careful of these Colossus that he doesn't get sniped off as well. So there you go. Actually, finally deciding to retaliate a bit, and yeah, just slicing and dicing wherever possible. Those Zealots actually lasting quite a while, even though they don't have any upgrades. And really, the upgrades are something that we should be seeing from both teams. Also had some drop there, I think. Looks like just had the hatchery they destroyed. Well, in case, there we go. Finally starting to see a bit more action. Even got Renorion using a few ghosts. It looks like just using them to provide fire support, not even using a special ability or something like that. He does have 2 tactical nuke strikes though, so provided they can get a couple of good nukes off on John the Noob's forces, he might be able to do quite a bit of damage. I think he's not going to be able to do too much damage, although he might be able to take out a few of these Hydralisks. He's going to want to watch out though. I mean, his ghosts, I don't know why exactly he put them near there. Taking out, taking out a few Hydralisks, so to think. But in my opinion, he could have probably done a better job at taking out this Hydralisk. He still has, he's actually used up both nukes apparently. Okay, there's the second nuke being used. A bit delayed, might have just wanted to aim a bit ahead of them, something like that. Andy, I think, is just going to be able to take out maybe this Hydralisk. Nope. He's a very lucky Hydralisk, that one being able to survive a couple of nuclear blasts. And yeah, Renorian's base is also going to get taken out. So yeah, certainly starting to see a bit of action. Map seems to be roughly divided in two from what I can see. And yeah, it looks like John the Noob is going to be marching out of his troops. At the same time, though, Renorian is actually going to be marching out of his ghosts, though, and even managing to take out a few reinforcing troops. That's something you don't see too often. You don't normally see ghosts being used like this. Actually, I want to use a sniper round ability as well. Though actually, no, he's only got a little bit of a little bit of energy on all of them. So, and yeah, he's just getting melted. Wow, I think he said never say die, but he died anyway. So there you go. Much of those sentiments. So yeah, it's a bit of amateurish play by all players, but still not too shabby. It's just a bit hard to follow. A couple of battles happening here. Looks like Rizzle's going to be concealing his troops. He might as well just unborrow them, since they're all at full health anyway. It's not like as if opponents aren't going to know, or at least aren't going to have an idea of where they are. But oh well, I suppose it's just how it's going to be. Renorian does have one tactical nuke strike, and he's actually going to be aiming at, interesting, on the Protoss player's wall then there. I don't really know if I'd agree with that, but well, what the hell. I suppose it'll do a bit of damage in the case, although I think you want to be a bit careful with that. With that ghost there, almost getting it killed, and wow, those buildings are pretty damn hardy actually. Didn't think they'd actually survive a direct nuclear strike, but they pretty damn hardy indeed. Speaking of which, do we have John the Noob attacking with, I'm pretty sure it was his original army of let's see, Hydralisks with 2 attack. Oh, what's going to be 2 attack? No armor, and well, he's also got a couple of roaches as well. I think they're going to pretty much get torn apart, although they did manage to take out the Colossus though, so actually to do a bit of damage. Borrowing the roaches as well, being a bit of a pain in the ass, but finally got Rizzle coming in with his own roaches. Should be able to dispatch John the Noob's roaches pretty quickly. As far as I'm not seeing an Observer, an Overseer or anything like that. That's what the hell. And now we've got bases being re-established once again. Renorian going for more barracks. Yeah, looks like he's been sticking mostly with a bio build supported with siege tanks, I think. And yeah, Diarchus is still continuing to traipse about with his not Overlord, with his Ultralisks, even using them against a couple of roaches here. Kind of funny to see them doing that. Actually, let's just see. Does he have what the hell is his Ultralisk cavern? Oh, I think that was it, actually, just being destroyed. Well, in either case, School is actually going to be doing a bit of harassment of his own. He's going to be going to town on these Overlords. Maybe the Hive might be a bit of a better target, but then again, I suppose supply blocking his opponents never hurts either. We also do have Diarchus sending in a couple of Ultralisks. Not really sure why he's hanging back here. I mean, he's on the creep, which means that Rizzle's creep trimmers can easily see his force there, so you think he'd actually want to be doing a either a push or a retreat, rather than, being in full view of the enemy and doing nothing. But what the hell. And there we go, John the Noob is now rather severely supply blocked, losing crap loads of Overlords. For some reason, Goo was going for that hat trick, but I'm just going better off going for the Hive. But yeah, finally deciding against that, he's actually going to be going for the drones of John the Noob. Actually, saying it was an easy game, we just literally... Yeah, it kind of seems like that. We're kind of seeing some mostly passive play. I'm seeing a few counterattacks, and yeah, we're also seeing crap loads of spore crawlers as well. Because why not? I mean, they're going to be facing that many Mutalisks. And finally, we do have John the Noob moving out once again. I wonder what happened with those Ultralisks actually. Did they get killed off? Not sure. And speaking of which, you've got Diarcho with a few drones there. Interesting. F10 plus seat. Not sure what they mean by that, but anyway. So yeah, a bit of a interesting game. So it could have been a bit more action-packed. What the hell? I'm going to be seeing what appears to be the final push by the top right team. We've got Renoir with crap loads of Marines. He hasn't even bothered going with any Marauders, and he's also got a couple of Hellions with no upgrades. And the Marines at the very least have 1-1 upgrades, but you think they would have, you know, somewhat better upgrades given that we are 34 minutes in the game. What the hell, apparently not going to see that. What I'm going to be seeing though is a couple of Zerglings being borrowed. I'm surprised actually not seeing Overseers or Observers coming in. Spot them, bro, well, screw it. And there we go, finally got Dioka coming in to see the D, as well as a couple of Roaches coming in to take out these Marines. And yeah, these Marines without Marauders or any other sort of real support except for these Hellions are going to melt pretty quickly actually to Dioka's Ultralisks. At the same time, those Ultralisks are taking quite a bit of damage though, but yeah, they're massive amounts of armor is allowing them to have quite a few, to absorb quite a few shots. But hold the phone, Roadkill is also sending in a couple of troops of his own. Sending in a couple of Colossi and even a couple of Dark Templars, so interesting. Although these Ultralisks are certainly going to do quite a bit of damage, I should be able to take on these Colossi as well. Maybe this Colossi might be able to barely take them out. Actually, no, they won't be able to. Although Modekiller is certainly doing quite a bit of damage with them, and yeah, as you can see, the bottom of the team, their bases are slowly getting whittled down, so I'd say it's pretty much curtains for them. And here we go, got Rizzle coming in as well to supplement the Mutalisks, and yeah, I mean, quite a bit of just does come down to the fact that yeah, both teams did play kind of softly, but the top right team at the very least did go with various multi-pronged attacks, and that Goo guy was very effective with his Mutalisks, and yeah, I mean, just harassing the hell out of especially these two expansion points here of the Protoss player, and yeah, basically just being able to do quite a bit of damage in general with these multi-pronged attacks. Bottom of the team being mostly passive, except for a couple of attacks of their own. Did see some pretty good drop play actually. Even got John the Noob actually sending in a couple of Roaches to take on the Hatchery to be able to destroy that at least. We'll slowly get taken out by the Mutalisks though. But yeah, we've just seen that sort of play, but by the bottom of the team a bit more drop play, more sneaky pushes and all that. But yeah, in my opinion, they were just a bit too passive, and yeah, as you can see, they were slowly but surely whittled down. And yeah, now we're just going to be seeing that continuing. I just actually fast forward the game a bit, seeing as not too much else is happening. Although to actually have John the Noob continuing to take Orbital Command now, which is actually now being lifted off, so now we should be able to see Goo take out these Roaches quickly. No, for some reason he's not helping the attack, I don't know why. And yeah, we've just got the bases now being taken out. Yeah, various base buildings being taken out from Black Trip, and probably going to be seeing some sort of a GG or a surrender by the bottom left team maybe, or we're just maybe going to sit and get annihilated. I just don't see how they're going to be able to recover from this, but what the hell, there we go, there's a GG played from John the Noob. So John the Noob has left the building. We've actually got no one producing at all, which is surprising because we do have well, he's also saved up and all that for all our players, but I suppose they're just focusing. I suppose the bottom right team is trying to focus on just delaying top right team as much as possible, and top right team is just focusing on yeah, blowing the crap out of the bottom left team. So I suppose there's only so much to be said there. So yeah, it's not such a bad game indeed. Kind of wish it was maybe a little bit shorter for what actually happened in there. We're mostly just seeing forces being built up. Goose saying hold on the back, so apparently he was also away for a certain period, and yeah, I think this is just about it. As soon as these few buildings by Shala get taken out, oh, and we've also got John the Noob's base here, which is taken out. As soon as that's taken out too, not too much. Rather, this should be at the end for the bottom left team, should I say? Yeah, Shala should be gone, unless if he's whatever. In any case, yeah, we should probably be seeing a GG from John the Noob, maybe not really sure. Why has he already GG? Crap, I probably should have paid more attention to the text. Damn it, I might as well who the hell GG first, but anyway. What the hell, they're going to be taking out these final bases, and that's about it. What the hell else do we actually have? I mean, come on. It should be just about game over. So there's something I'm missing here. No? Yeah, there we go, what I was saying last match, not bad. So yeah, I don't know exactly why they're not destroyed. I'm pretty sure it should be just resolved when one team's base buildings all get destroyed. But apparently there's something else hidden about. Not sure what though. Okay, there we go. Black Trip no longer has any forces. So there you go. So yes, not to show the game. Hopefully, be able to upload it a bit later on today. And until that happens, this has been Damien Dudovic signing off.